What's going on, everyone? It's King Tuts Pro. Welcome back to another Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you a really cool music video neon glow effect that you guys can do in an instant to any of your videos, as long as they have a lot of highlights in them, of course. So if your video is like shot at night, it might work, it might not, but it just really depends on how you film the video. If there's a lot of bright areas in your video, this is gonna work fantastic. So I'm gonna show you what I've created. You've probably already seen it in the beginning of the video, but I'm gonna push play again so you guys can see it. So if I push play, this is the effect that I created using the Pixel Film Studios Final Cut Pro 10 Looks Sweet. And man, it looks sweet, but pun intended. So before I begin with the tutorial, I want to give a special thanks to Pixel Film Studios for sponsoring today's video. Also, don't forget to check them out on YouTube, where they provide their own comprehensive Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials covering a variety of topics. You can visit their YouTube playlist, which I will link down below. What you want to do is first go into the effects, where you can actually find all of the presets, over 1,000, not over 1,000, but 1,000 different presets. We can scroll through all of the different presets and categories that you guys can apply to your video. So if you go to the very top, we have bad film, which is one that we're going to apply first. I'm going to drag this onto the video here, and if I go back and push play, it looks like this. I'm going to change the resolution back to better quality so you guys get a better look on what this looks like. So what it does, it kind of creates more of a strobe effect. And if we enable the, if we go into the inspector tab and go into the effect controls here, every preset is going to be slightly different, but they will have the same kind of settings or controls, not the same exact ones, but very similar controls. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the effect opacity. You can increase or decrease this. We can change the focus amount. We can change the focus variance, the brightness, which I'm going to increase quite a bit here. And we're going to increase the brightness variance so that it kind of really makes a different look every time. We can increase the scratches. This is more of like as you can see here, a film kind of overlay look that you can create. You can create grain here, as you can see. So we're going to increase the grain a little bit like that. You can also go down into the presets and find, if we go and type in grain, because there is a lot of presets here. You can go into film grain, and instead of using the one here with the bad film preset, you can actually use this one and just drag it onto your clip. And this kind of creates more of that realistic grain, as you can see. So this is without it. If I disable it and enable it, so it looks really good. So I'm gonna have that one enabled. So if we go down, we have 35mm film 3. This will kind of create more of that kind of look that you're kind of going for, in terms of if you're trying to replicate a movie or a actual music video. You can go down into these and kind of click and drag to achieve one of those looks. Now again, if you go into the actual inspector tab, you can then change the opacity here. So you can decrease the strength of this. You can increase the gamma. You can increase the film softener. So this will, of course, soften more of that video. If we kind of zoom in a little bit, maybe to his face, you're going to see that we have film softener. So this will make it really soft. As you can see, we're going to disable that, but you have primary RGB, black in. So this will shift the colors in the kind of shadow area. We have blackout. Again, you can change this. But what we're trying to really achieve here is the neon kind of glowing effect. But I'm just showing you guys the controls so you guys can get familiar with them. So we have the color correction. So if we have this one enabled under on and off, we can change the saturation, so we can decrease it or increase it. I'm going to reset that right now. You can increase the exposure, or you can decrease it. This will come in handy once we apply the actual effect. We have Chromatic Aberration. If we enable this will create a RGB split effect, which is really cool. And you can, of course, change the layer opacity. As you can see, you can change how much of the RGB kind of split you want that to happen. We're going to turn that off, though, for now. And, of course, we have blur controls. If we enable that, this will kind of create blurry edges. And you will see this a lot in films, by the way, in case you don't know. They do add that, and maybe in music videos as well. But for the sake of this video, we're going to turn that off. We have distortion controls. Again, you can enable or disable distortion, so you can really get a really weird or trippy effect if you want to have that there. We have letterbox controls if you want that film look. We go back and push play. It looks just like that. You can then change the bar's width and the bar's height. You can do something like this. Make it really very thin or very thick on those letterbox bars. And we have vignette controls if you want vignette. I am not a fan of vignette personally, but you can have you can enable it if you want in that settings there. So we're gonna delete that, and I'm gonna show you how to create the effect. So what you want to do first is you want to go down and find the effect called extreme. So we're gonna go into the extreme category here. So we're gonna go into extreme 35. So the number is extreme 35. And what extreme 35 does, if we highlight or hover over it, you will see a preview of this effect. And this will make it so it's dark. So if we drag this onto our video, this will create more of that nighttime shot effect. And we're gonna go into the color inspector tab. We're gonna go into the saturation, and we're gonna desaturate this video because this was not filmed. Well, of course it's taken from the actual music video, but it was not, it's not a flat color profile. So all the colors are very vibrant still, and we want to decrease that. So we're going to go into the master slider, and we're going to decrease that to desaturate the video. So if we increase it up, this will of course increase the saturation. We don't want to do that. So we're going to drag this almost to 90% or negative 55%, and maybe even more, like negative 60%. And we're also going to go into saturation, and we're going to bring these shadows down because there's still color in the brown area, and the saturation we're going to bring this down as well as in the highlights, something like that. Almost looks like a line going straight up. And we go into the exposure tab, and here what we're going to do is we're going to increase this quite a bit actually, so it creates more of a flat washed out look. And we're going to go into, if we go here, we're going to then increase the shadows a bit, not too much, but around there, and increase the highlights a little bit more as well. And we're going to decrease the midtones, because if we increase the midtones, it's going to create more of that white area, and we don't want that. So we're going to decrease this to create more highlights in, or more brightness in the highlights, if that makes sense. So we're going to decrease the midtones to roughly negative 13%. So now if we go back and we enable this, so this is a before and after. So this creates more of that flat look. We're faking the flat color profile look, but this is what you can do if you don't actually, filmed in that profile. In higher end cameras, they film in, of course, flat, so they can create looks just like this one. So what we're going to do from this point is we're going to go into the extreme 35. We have that one, and we're going to go into extreme 58, which is the actual preset that allows you to create that neon glow effect. So we're going to go down, and you can try these out as well. So we have this one here, which is really cool. This one kind of inverts the colors almost, and you have that purple and yellow color. And of course, you can easily change this, which is really cool. You have extreme 53. This one's really cool. If I go back and I push play, looks like that. So this one's really cool if you're really trying to go for that Andy Warhol kind of look. We have this one, 57, but the one we're after is number 58. So we're going to drag this one on top of our video here. And what we're going to do is go into extreme 58 in the inspector tab, into the preset controls, and we can decrease or increase the opacity. I'm going to have this one all the way up. Sharpness, we can decrease or increase. I'm going to reset that for now. Blend opacity, we're going to increase or decrease. I'm going to leave that though. And dark color, we're going to click on this dark color kind of square to change the color of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for, and this will affect more of the shadow. So for the overall look, I'm trying to go for a blue and pink color. So what I want to do is I want to affect the shadows first. So I'm going to drag this slider to around the blue section, which is around here, and you can tell with this line, and you can increase this to make it more dramatic, or you can drag it to the right to make it more dark or dull. I'm going to drag this not all the way up, but just a hair under, so around there. That looks pretty good. So once you're happy with that dark color selection, we're going to go into the light color, and we're going to click on the green button, and we're going to change the highlight. So what this does is this will actually change the highlight or the brightest areas in that video. So what we're doing is we're changing the hue. So we're changing the overall color of this white or highlighted area. So we decrease this. Of course, this will make it more dull. What we want to do is drag it all the way up. Well, not all the way quite up, but just under, a hair under. And we're going to change this color to pink to start off. So we're trying to go for that hot pink look. So now if I push play, it looks like that and looks great. So we're going to enable the bad film to kind of create that strobe kind of effect like that. So we're going to go back to extreme 58, and what we're going to do is going to go back into threshold, and we can decrease this or increase it. So you may notice that this is creating more of that pink look What I want to do is drag it to the right though, because I don't want to create too much of a pink look. So I want more of an overall blue look. So I'm going to drag this to the right a little bit like that. Okay. Smoothness is how soft that kind of shift of that color will be. I'm just going to leave it how it is. I think it looks fine. Layer 2 blend, we're going to leave that how it is. And blend opacity, this will of course make it softer or more dull. I'm going to increase it a little bit. And color here is where you can actually change the color of the main neon color. So we can go for like yellow, maybe green or red. I think red looks really cool, but what we're trying to do is go for that pink look. So we're gonna go into that hot pink. Again, we can change the dull or brightness overall of that color. We're gonna increase this quite a bit, and we have color correction. So we're gonna enable this one. We're gonna increase or decrease the saturation. I wanna increase it a little bit, like so. You don't wanna get too crazy with the colors here. Exposure, we wanna increase that, of course, because we made it a little dull or too dark. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna turn the bad film off for now. So I'm gonna go down to color correction. We're gonna increase or decrease the sharpness. I'm gonna turn that all the way down. Shadows. So if you click on this box here, this will change or shift the colors a bit. So if we drag this down a little bit, it will make it more blue. Or if you drag it to the yellow area, it will make it more brown. So I'm just gonna leave that to more of a neutral color. Boost will boost all of the settings here in the color correction. We have chromatic aberration. I'm gonna have that off. Blur, we can enable that. I'm gonna enable it and just increase it a little bit. The film grain, we can disable this, and you can see that like enabling or disabling the film grain can really change the look of this. So if we enable the film grain, you're gonna notice that the highlights or the glowing effects really make it stand out a lot more, which is why I like to add it. And now if I go back and I push play, you have this really cool kind of strobe neon glow effect. It looks so good. So you can of course synchronize this to your video and or your music and create a really awesome effect. So if I were to hide all of the effects that we've applied, this is the before and the after. So you can see how you can take a video and really make it your own. And let's say you have another scene that you haven't applied all the effects to. In this case, I'm going to select this video here just because I think that this video has a lot of highlights, such as the car, the white kind of paint on the road, the sky, the sign. So this will be really cool. So if I select this video, we don't have to re-add everything. So we can just press Command C, go and click on the next clip here, press Shift Command V together, and then click Paste. And now you're going to see the magic happen and everything will be applied. Push play and you're going to see it looks just like that. So of course you want to use this effect lightly. You don't want to apply it to every single clip, but a scene like this would look the best. So if you guys found this video helpful at all, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to take a look at the actual plugin from Pixel Film Studios. So again, a big special thanks to Pixel Film Studios for sponsoring today's video. And again, if you want to take a look at your own time through all of these hundreds of presets, then you can. There's just so much to go over, but all of them are relatively cool to use, and they all serve a purpose for a specific effect that you're trying to go for. So if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. Peace out.